It's travel season, and the last thing you want to do is spend the first 2 days of your vacation bloated, tired, cranky, or asleep because you're jet-lagged. As someone who has to travel between Sweden and Canada almost every month, I have nailed how to overcome jet lag in 24 hours and develop some habits that keep me content and happy while traveling. Today I'm going to let you know all the tips and tricks I've learned so you can spend more time enjoying your holiday, not scrolling Instagram at 3 a.m. because you can't fall asleep. We're talking skincare, supplements, what's in my bag, sleeping, and much, much more. Part number 1, your sleep schedule. So first, going west to east. So think North America to Europe, etc. 2 weeks out, you want to start waking up 15 minutes earlier than you normally do and going to bed 15 minutes earlier. Day of travel, wake up as early as possible. I'm talking 2 a.m., 3 a.m., as early as I physically can and not pulling an all-nighter. And then have an entire day. Go to work, have your workout, have a full day done by noon before you step on the plane. And you'll feel so worn out, tired, that you can sleep on the plane, because that is the trick. As soon as you hop on that plane, try and sleep, because you want to think of what time zone you're in. And normally when you're going east to west, when you hop on a plane, you'd be sleeping in the location. So you want to set it up so you start sleeping then. Now, caveat, I know Mike Downey, he travels a lot. I asked him, he does the opposite. He just pulls an all-nighter and doesn't sleep on the plane. So remember, these are not hard, fast rules. These are just what work for me. And for me, I just try and sleep on the plane, even if I just close my eyes and gaslight myself that I'm sleeping. Now, east to west, this might be when you're returning, or if you're someone from Asia, Europe, coming over to North America. Do the reverse. Stay up 15 minutes earlier and sleep in 15 minutes earlier, the 2 weeks ideally leading up. I know jobs won't always make this easy, but just try your best to even do what you can. And then day of travel, I just try and stay up as late as I possibly can. Not pull an all-nighter, but like if you're a 10 p.m. kind of bed person, I just don't feel guilty about going on Netflix till 1 in the morning. Then when you arrive, especially going west to east, you gotta battle. This is the biggest trick. If there's one, there's no napping. I love a nap, it's good, but no. If you arrive, it's 5 p.m., you're like, oh, I just need a half an hour sleep. No, you just have to push to at least 8 p.m. because if you can push that day, you'll be so tired, you'll probably sleep the entire night if you can just do that one thing. You can throw every other tip out the window. Just battle when you get there. Thank me later. And obviously, if it's gonna be dangerous, don't. But part number 2, supplements. Now, these are how you can adjust with these waking up early and whatnot. Number 1, caffeine. I always buy a caffeinated beverage. I'm a coffee right as I wake up kind of person. If you're not, maybe ignore this, but a lot of us are. I will always buy a caffeinated beverage, whether it be a bottled iced coffee, an energy drink, or something like that. And I know as soon as it's 6 a.m., 7 a.m., the location I'm going to, I crack open that coffee. Now be careful, don't consume extra coffee. One tip then also is the day of taking off when I woke up earlier, I'll usually have to skip a coffee. I'm a 2 coffee kind of person. I skip the second coffee, which also makes me tired, which makes it easier to sleep on the plane. And if you're like, Kelly, there's no way I'm skipping a coffee. I'll explain some tips later on. There's one other supplement I'll recommend, but first I'm just gonna go through my healthy habit routine for you guys. Number 1, bring a reusable water bottle. It will save you so much money. Everything's so overpriced and it will keep you hydrated, and make sure to fill before you hop on the plane. And yes, I will drink that and drink all the water they give me. And that is why I pick an aisle seat, so I can pee as much as I want. 2, a silk pillowcase. You can get cheap ones at like Winners and that, but what I'll do is I'll pack a pillowcase and then my jacket I shove into my pillowcase to make a makeshift comfier pillow, because skincare wise, I just don't trust those pillows. I don't know when they're washed. I don't know if the person before me grabbed it. I don't know if it's been on the ground. At least I know. And the silk is just so much smoother. It is so much better for your skin and hair. 3, pack some fruits and vegetables, especially things like apples, carrots. You can easily bring those through security. Just eat them before you get to the next location. And they're so overpriced in the airport. So I just bank that I'll never be able to eat a fruit or vegetable when I'm traveling, especially long haul. So I try and bring some so I have them. Speaking of which, number 4, emergency snacks. You never know. Some planes, they just won't have a meal. Sometimes the meals are like, oh, that's gonna make me feel like crap. So I just always have emergency snacks. And worst case scenario, these emergency snacks, I just make a charcuterie board for myself and pretend that's dinner. It's girls' dinner in the worst case, but it's not perfect. You do what you can while you're traveling. And so I'll pack things like a protein bar, beef jerky, nuts, kale chips, dark chocolate, some crackers, energy balls, and just have those because they're a lot cheaper to bring or make yourself than buy in the airport. They're gonna be 5 times the price, and worst comes to worst, you can have that for lunch or dinner. Number 5, Element I pack. This isn't a sponsorship, this one, but I do have a little supplement bag full of AG1 packs, Element, and just little sample supplements I can bring with me. 6, I started wearing compression socks. It does help. It does help with swelling. My healthy habit number 7 routine is I try to get up every 1 to 2 hours at least, or even just move around. A lot of back pain from sitting is less of sitting and more being stuck in one position. So even if you're someone who's like, I'm not gonna get up and walk every time, just try and think like every 20 to 30 minutes, if you're leaning to the left, lean to the right, sit up straight, hunch, just move around and try different sitting positions, and that can really help with the pain you get. And I won't lie, I'm shameless, I get up and walk and stretch. Yep, that's embarrassing, but I wish we all did it, and then it'd be less embarrassing. We'd all be a little happier and less jet lagged. Healthy habit number 8, probiotics. I start taking weeks ahead of time. I think this is where a lot of people screw up with probiotics. They start taking them right when they get somewhere. They're like, oh, I'm gonna be bloated and I should, gut health, but throw in some probiotics. But actually probiotics can really irritate your stomach because you're introducing these new bacteria and probiotics and prebiotics into your gut, and that can cause bloating. Now, ideally, you introduce them and then over time you have a wide microbiome, and because of that, you're kind of equipped. So you're building the muscle. Just try introducing probiotics weeks out, not week of. If you haven't, I'd just say skip it. It's going to be even that much more damage than good. And number 9, save up your Sephora sales points. Every sample I get, I always get samples for the things I actually use, not things I want to try, and I stash them so I can use them as easy packing, or I use my Sephora points, and this goes to other companies as well, like Shoppers. I just hoard my Sephora samples and then use them in my one little 1 liter if I'm just doing carry-on, or it just takes up less space in my checked. So that was my healthy habits routine. Back to how to beat jet lag. Second supplement, melatonin. This is the only time I use it. A lot of studies are coming out with like long-term melatonin uses, unless you're prescribed by a doctor. It can be harmful because pretty much your body produces melatonin naturally. So if you're constantly taking a supplement, it kind of suppresses your body. It's like, oh cool, you're just gonna give it to us, we don't need it anymore. And that can have negative side effects. But the one time I do use it and kind of take a little bit of sacrifice, I'm not using it long term, is about a week out from wherever I'm trying to go. Remember how I said start going to bed 15 minutes earlier or so? You're like, Keltie, I can't just fall asleep 15 minutes earlier. Melatonin. So exactly, it seems to be best. It's not melatonin necessarily going to make you just boom, fall asleep, but it can kind of help reset your circadian rhythm and that internal clock. So I just start taking it about an hour before I go to bed, the weeks leading up to it. So my body starts producing melatonin just a little bit earlier than it normally would. And then when you get on the plane, remember you're like, it's 2 p.m. I can't just fall asleep. This is when I take melatonin. But you know how I said, like take it an hour before. Do not take a sleeping supplement of any kind until the plane has taken off. I repeat, do not. I have learned this the hard way, and I do not want you to make mistakes because I've taken the sleeping pill and then I've been on the plane and they're like, actually this flight is no longer going to be taken off. It is delayed 4 hours. And then I'm just in the airport trying not to fall asleep so I don't miss my flight. So until the wheels are off, no sleeping supplements. Part number 3, eating. Similar to sleeping, we want to adjust our eating routine a little bit to about 2 weeks out. Assuming you have 2 weeks out, if I'm going west to east, I'm going to start eating every meal about 15 minutes earlier. If I'm going the opposite, I start eating 15 minutes later, and just slowly with my sleep schedule, because that's another reason why you get so bloated and just like feel icky in your stomachs, because when you get there, your body also works on a routine. It starts getting hungry at the same time, it starts producing digestive enzymes at the same time, but suddenly there's no food, or suddenly you start eating food when it wasn't ready. It's like,
whoa, where did this come from? It's 3 a.m. We're trying to produce melatonin, and you just gave us a carbonara. What is this?
You also want to try your routine to adjust your eating routine as well. And day of traveling west to east, once again, you wake up early. I also eat excessively early. So I'll have all my meals before like noon. So I'll have like breakfast at 3 a.m., lunch at 6 a.m., and then dinner at noon. And then I get on the plane and sleep. And then I sleep the entire plane, hopefully. And then I eat breakfast at the time I want to normally be eating breakfast where I arrive, whether that's 7 a.m., 8 a.m., whatever works for you. Like I'm a 10 a.m. breakfast kind of person. So I'll just wait till around 10 a.m. where I arrive and have a breakfast. Now, east to west is a little trickier. And there's 2 methods you can do. And I'm going to let you pick, and I've tried both and both work. Option 1 is the night before I have the biggest dinner possible. I mean, I just have extras and just full. I want to feel full, Thanksgiving full. Like obviously don't like binge eat, but just like I eat till I'm not satisfied till I'm full. And then I try and fast until my normal breakfast-ish time. So even if I eat breakfast at 10 a.m., even if I can just get it to 7 a.m., the place I'm going, I'll try my best. And that's once again, I eat such a big meal so I can actually do the fasting. If you're someone who can just like rip it and fast, good for you. I'm not one of those people. Now 2, if you're someone who's like, Keltie, I cannot fast. There's no way I'm going to make it. Have a regular dinner the night before and then have a really big breakfast and then just at the normal time in the location you are, which is east. And then once you get to a time that you normally eat breakfast west, try and eat a little bit something once again to get the digestive juices going. So it's really about just thinking what you'll be eating and when you'll be sleeping, where you're going. And play around with this. I never want to promote fasting because I think that can be really harmful for some people. Some people love it. So there's the 2 options and really do what best for you. I've seen both work. Part number 4, lighting. If I should be asleep and where I'm going. Once I'm in the airport, I would turn my phone red or sleepy mode so I don't have that blue light. Because it's once again, you're in these bright airports, but you're supposed to suddenly be sleeping soon, but it's also 2 p.m. and you just want to trick your body that it's nighttime. So I put my phone red. 2, as soon as I arrive there, I get morning sunlight. We've heard that 1,000 times on the internet, but when you arrive, just try and get something. If worse comes to worse, you're on an airplane, you don't have morning sunlight, you don't want to open the blinds. For people, I just turn my phone on as bright as possible. Is it perfect? No, but it's what you have. Another lighting tip is wearing sunglasses, which leads me to part number 5, the technology I use. Number 1, sunglasses. This is embarrassing. I wear sunglasses. Yep, I wear sunglasses in the airport. If I'm traveling west to east and I know I'm in the airport, but where I'm going, it's nighttime and I should be sleepy, I wear sunglasses. So if you see me wearing sunglasses, come say hi. I still want to see you. I'm just probably trying to trick my mind that it's nighttime. And on the flip side, if you arrive somewhere and you're sleepy and you're trying to be awake, not a great time to wear sunglasses. Unless, of course, your eyes are really hurting. That's when I wear just a baseball cap. Number 2, I switch my watch time to the location I'm going to be. Now, we always look at our phone for time, so you don't actually need your watch for the time. But even like a week out, sometimes I'll put my watch, or you can have, if you have an Apple Watch, you can have 2 watch times at the same time, so the location I'm going. So it's just a mental cue if you're like, oh, it's 3 a.m. in Sweden where I'm going, but it's, 10 p.m. here. You know what, I might as well just start like drifting off to sleep a little earlier. Those aren't right numbers, but it's just kind of a mental cue. If all this is lost, you can kind of just look and be like, oh yeah, I would be asleep right now, or oh, I would be awake now. And especially even if you don't want to do it weekly now, when I'm in the airport. If you're just trying to navigate this, change the time zone you're going to be in on your watch, and it's just a nice cue. And as soon as you hop on a plane, so you're in there, you're secure, you're safe, don't do this ahead of time and you don't know what time it is and you miss your flight. Once you're in the plane, just change to the time zone you're going to be in right away on your phone. And once again, that's just a cue of like, it's not 3 p.m. right now, it's 7 a.m. And that kind of tells you like, oh, I should be asleep now, I should be having coffee. This is the time I normally have breakfast. Part number 6, energize. Now, this is all fun and games. These are all the things you can do, but sometimes you just have no energy. And here's my tricks of how to just get energy when you're just feeling blah. Something to keep you awake as soon as you get there. Cold shower, workout, or even a walk. You'll hear someone debate all 3. I feel all 3 work the same. Use whatever you prefer. 2, this is not great skin advice. This isn't really health advice. This is just energy. This is break. In case of emergency, wherever I go, I'll wash my face and I just take an ice cube and rub it all over my face. It feels great. It will wake you up. Is it the best thing for your skin? No. But once again, when you're on vacation, it's not always about having perfect skin. It's about enjoying the moment, and that for hangovers and jet lag just helps zap me. And yes, I could just go in cold shower, but I'm a wuss. Part number 7, outfits. So that you can walk and stretch in, so you feel that you actually want to stretch and move around. If you're inside really stiff, you're going to naturally sit a lot more stiffer, but something you actually feel good in. I, for the longest time, was like a baggy t-shirt, sweatpants kind of person. And that's fine. I'm not saying you can't wear those things, but I noticed I felt sloppy. I got to this new location and I was like, oh wow, I'm cool. I'm in Spain and I look like a slob and everyone's so well dressed around me and I feel so bad. And so I just started dressing outfits that I still feel look cute, still feel presentable, and are really comfortable that I can move around in and sleep in. And it's not that hard nowadays. It is quite remarkable between Lululemon, Alo, Aritzia, Amazon, all have like casual, cute looking outfits that are super comfortable. But yeah, you're not gonna catch me dead in jeans and a blazer unless it's like a short flight. So I'm not saying I'm like a glamazon on there, but I'm just like, I don't feel too bummy. Part number 8, what's in my carry-on? A lot of times my carry-on is just my clothes and makeup products, and my personal item carries like my security things, but if I check a bag, my carry-on has it all. And these are the things I make sure to have to just enjoy the flight and wake there feeling refreshed and energized. Number 1, compression socks. 2, water bottle. 3, my little supplements. 4, a bunch of plugins so my phone doesn't die. 5, sunglasses, you know why. 6, a change of clothes. If I'm gonna be sleeping on a plane, yes, you can wear it, but something so refreshing about changing into just regular clothes. Still can be comfortable, but that change of clothes is nice. 7, an eye mask and pillow. 8, if I have room in it, I'll put a pair of slip-on sandals, which I switch into on the plane, and wear socks and sandals. Speaking of which, number 9, a clean pair of socks. When you arrive somewhere and you have clean socks and they haven't been on you for 18 hours, it feels amazing. So in summary, 2 weeks out, a week out, however much time you have, just start switching your routine 15 minutes earlier if you're going west to east, and start switching everything 15 minutes later, east to west. And the morning of, just try and switch to that routine of where you're going as fast as you possibly can. Use sunglasses to adjust the lighting. Use your phone to tell you what time it is. But remember, some of this has some science behind it, like melatonin and all this. And I got a lot of these ideas from listening to scientists and people who are really experts in sleeping and whatnot. But I've really catered them over time. Now, you don't have to sit there and write Okay, Keltie step by step. That's why I didn't film this at first. I was gonna film this very like step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. You do this, because then you'd follow it and you get overwhelmed and you'd be more anxious about that and you'd miss your flight. All these take one tip, whether it be the eating, the sleeping, getting out and walking as soon as you get there, the sun. Just do one for your first trip. And your next trip, try a second. And all these I've developed over 5 years of being in a long distance relationship and having to go back and forth all the time, that now these are all autopilot. I don't have to think like, oh, this and the timing. I'm just like, oh yeah, this is kind of what I do when I do this. Let me know down in the comments anything you guys have, because once again, this is what's worked for me, but there's a lot of other examples. Like Mike likes to stay up all night. So I'd love to hear down in the comments what you guys like to do. Comment them below, and most importantly, have a great summer vacation, which leads me to, I'm going to be taking 2 weeks off. There'll be no upload July 6th or 13th. I always take 2 weeks off beginning of July for my own summer vacation. It's the only time Megs gets off, and it's my birthday week. So if I have one request, hit subscribe and the notification bell so you know when I come on. That's the birthday present, the only birthday present I ask for every year. And thank you for the last year since. I love you guys. I love this channel. And hopefully these are just some little tips that help you while you travel, because things are tight money. And if you saved up enough to travel, I want to make sure you get the most out of it. And if you're watching this and you're not traveling right now, I'm praying for you and manifesting that you win the lottery and then go on a cool vacation and use these tips, or use a private jet, so it doesn't matter. Have a great day. Go pet a dog. Love you guys. Bye. I mean the private jet because you won the lottery, not that we all could run. I've never even seen a private jet, except when I watch Succession. Anyways, have a great day. Go pet a dog. Love you guys. Bye.